this is a car you need to drive if you're looking for a true driver's car. Oh, I love the mechanical feel of the door. Yeah, that's a solid door. Alright guys, what's going on? CZeroMedia here. In today's episode, I haven't done a review in a while, but I am doing yet another review, this time in my brand new Datsun 280Z. This is 1978. And the 1978 280Z model, so actually fuel injected. So unlike my Datsun 260Z, this one is not carbureted. He already saw the video of me picking up this thing. You already know that this car was basically a ground up build. For a 40-year-old car, it is extremely clean. The previous owner literally took the car down to bare metal, sandblasted everything. He even sandblasted each and every component, powder coated it, and reinstalled it while doing some minimum modifications here and there. The suspension has completely been rebuilt. It's got brand new Tokiko gas struts with Tokiko lowering springs, as well as polyurethane bushings all around. So all the hard work has been taken care of. The chassis has no rust, which is very important when you look for these Datsuns, because a lot of times the floorboard may be rusted out, the frame in the engine bay might be rusted out. So I didn't have to worry about any of that. Exterior wise, the guy obviously repainted the whole car, but it's not the original Datsun orange. It's actually a GM orange. So when I compare this 280Z next to my 260Z, which is also orange, it's a little brighter, it pops a little more. I'm kind of a guy who don't like anything flashy, but when you're driving a hot rod or like a muscle car or the Datsun, I don't mind being flashy, because you're kind of in a different category than like a Lamborghini, right? Buying an orange Lamborghini just shows that you want to stand out. But when you have like an orange muscle car or hot rod, it's a little different story. So I'm taking this to the twisties right now, so I can show you the full potential of the Z. I mean, this is definitely not a car you take it on the highway and do pull. This is not your everyday fast straight line car. It's all about the corners. It's all about the power to weight ratio in something like this. I do plan on going, a lot of people put in like a diesel crank and stroke it to a 3-liter from 2.8 liter. That's something I might do in the future, and I'll talk about that in the future videos. But the engine is extremely healthy. This particular car came with a 4-speed transmission, but the previous owner put in a 5-speed transmission, and the shifter was also shortened, so it gives me that nice short shifter feel. Last time I drove my friend's 280ZX, it felt like the shifter was all over the place. I didn't really know where I was in. It felt like a truck shifter or something. But this feels aggressive. I know exactly what gear I'm in, so I like that upgrade that the previous owner did to the car. So even with this car making like 200 horsepower or something like that, it flies. It feels great. Let me just punch it real quick for you in the first gear. Here we go. Like 200 horsepower has never felt so good. With all the bushings that's been done to the car, with the Tokyo gas struts and springs, it feels solid. It feels like a go-kart. It reminds me of the AE86s that I have driven in the past. It's so responsive, and I can't think of any other car that I have driven in my life that way you feel so connected to the car. You know, there's no power steering, there's no ABS, there's no traction control, there's absolutely no electronic devices that's supporting you with the driving behavior of the car. One thing I do want to upgrade though is these brakes. Although this car does have the upgraded larger brakes from a Toyota Land Cruiser, yes, a Land Cruiser, because the previous owner had Land Cruisers as well as this G, and he had leftover Land Cruiser parts sitting out in the garage, and he decided to swap in Land Cruiser brake up front. But the fact that I really have to pump the pedal to stop adds to the character of the car. You really have to be aware of what's going on with the car. You are really connected to it. He wants that attention from you. You can't be texting, you can't be messing with your radio, you can't be drinking your Red Bull, which I just chugged before the video, because there's no cup holders in this thing to begin with. You know, it requires full driver attention, and I just love that. This is a driver's car, and it only takes 200 horsepower to give it that fun go-kart feel. One thing I'm gonna change right away with this car is the fact that it does not have a front lip, so I'm gonna put that lip on there. I do wanna go install fender mirrors on it too, because I love that look. And it also does not have exhaust. This car actually still has resonator and exhaust muffler in the rear on the axle back, so the sound coming out of the exhaust is really quiet. When you see a car this size, this small, this light in modern day, it's usually a 4-cylinder. But with this Datsun, it's a 6-cylinder 2.8 liter, and I can hear that it wants to pop. It actually reminds me of RB26 in a way, how the sound comes from the core, like that deep, raw, Godzilla type sound. I always say in my channel, it's better to drive a slow car fast on the streets than to drive a fast car slow on the streets. I haven't even touched the Evo since I bought this Datsun, because it's just so much more fun to rip around in a Datsun than to do that in the Evo. As soon as I hit like 3rd gear rev limiter on the Evo, I'm breaking the law, obviously. But I can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th gear pulls in this Datsun all day and never get in trouble. If anything, I'll get a thumbs up from the police, because it's just a car that looks adorable. And that's the reason why I love like old school cars, classic cars. Even my CB550 cafe racer that I built, is that, you know, I'm not seeking attention. I don't like attention. If I go to a car show, car meet, I park my car on the side and I don't really show off my stuff. But the fact that people appreciate this car does make me happy. Whenever I drive this around, I get so many thumbs up, so many looks from like grandmas, grandpas, to teenagers, to kids, and I just love the fact that everybody appreciates the beauty of this S30 chassis. Alright guys, so now I'm gonna take it around the corners where this car belongs and see what it feels like. Like I said, it's got full polyurethane bushings all around. It's got Tokiko gas struts, Tokiko lowering springs. So it should feel pretty good. We'll see what it does. Here we go. Oh yeah. Man, this car feels like a go-kart. This is obviously not the best road, best paved road out there, because it's super bouncy, but it handles like a chump. You point it and it goes. Wow. The brakes, I gotta say, is a little sketchy, but that's something I can upgrade. Wow, this chassis is solid. Oh my god. I'm pushing it and pushing it, and the rear end doesn't even slide out. Wow. Wow. It handles so good. I'm literally shocked how well it handles, and heel toe is so easy with this car too. It's literally a go-kart on the streets, and again, it just proves that you don't need a lot of power to have fun in a car. This is absolute toge monster. I can't even imagine back in the 70s when they first came out with this car in Japan and people took this on the toges. It must have been such a blast. This car feels so good around the corners. I kind of want to take it to the track once it's all good to go, pre-prepped. You know, a lot of people told me back in the days that if you're a car enthusiast, you should buy and drive a Miata to appreciate what it feels like to be in a driver's car. And I had an NA Miata for a while, probably about 2 weeks, and I got bored of it, to be honest. And I wouldn't say the same thing about the ND Miata, because that is such a well-built car. But man, I think everybody should drive a Datsun S30. I don't care if it's 240, 260 or 280, not the Miata. This is a car you need to drive. I think if I put the cams, oil coolers, and a couple gauges, you know, temperature gauges, oil pressure gauge, and run bigger brakes and better tires and do suspension, I think I can honestly take this to the track and have the absolutely best time of my life. This thing handles so good. It is just blowing my mind left and right. And listen to that engine. This is no Miata, guys. This is 70s 6-cylinder engine with basically a stock exhaust, and it sounds so good. And there's a thumbs up for the van driver there. God, I love this car. You guys hear that pop? Damn. Oh, I love this car, and that's obvious. But that's about it for today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this review. There's a lot of more videos to come in the future for this Datsun 280Z. This car literally blew my mind away. I simply got it because I heard good things about it and it looks awesome. That's pretty obvious. But I never expected to be such a fun car to drive. It has so much potential in the future. I just can't stop hitting the apex and going wide open throttle. Wow, this car feels so great, so fun. I think everybody needs to drive a Datsun once in their life. This is such a great car. But in the future, I'm gonna do upgrades. Let me talk about what I have planned. I'm gonna get rid of this crappy radio from the 90s, although that's considered an upgrade because it's a car from the 70s. I'll probably redo the speakers. I'll probably put in actually a bucket seat in here, because although these seats look nice and comfortable, because the guy basically rebuilt these seats. He put like extra padding, new padding inside, so now it's nice and fresh, but it makes the seat a little higher. I don't want that. I want more of a lower seating position, so I might put in bucket seats left and right, harness. In the future, I'll probably do a roll cage. As for the engine, I still don't know much about these L28 platforms, but I do know people swap in like a diesel crank to get more capacity out of it, to upgrade it to like a 3D to setup. I might do cams, and I will do a little more research to see the potential of these L28 engines. I don't want to boost the L28 though, because I feel like that just adds additional complexity. I'm a simple guy. I like my cars simple and reliable, and I don't want to mess with turbo, especially on a car that was built in the 70s. So I'll keep it NA and research the maximum horsepower you can get out of L28 engine. And if there isn't much to do, I do want to go with like an RB swap, RB26 or maybe even RB30, ITDs again. with no turbo. I want to keep it NA, I want to keep it responsive, I want to keep this 6-cylinder sound coming out of this engine. So that's about it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this review of the Datsun 280Z. There's no doubt that I absolutely love this car. It has so much capability, so much potential, and there's definitely going to be a build thread for this specific car. So let me know what you guys think about the car. If you have a Datsun S30 chassis, let me know what I can do to get additional power all out of the L28 engine. Let me know what kind of engine swaps I should consider. Let me know what kind of suspension mods I can go install in the future. That would be very helpful because I am still new to these Datsuns. So thanks again for watching, guys. Make sure to subscribe if you're not subscribed to my channel yet. Hit the like button if you like the video, and I'll see you in my next build videos. Peace out.